This is not my normal streaming time, and I figured this is actually not live at all. I'm just recording this. I'll probably revisit this when I visit stream, but I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I wanted to talk about what is going on in Manipur right now, because Manipur is on fire, and we'll get to some of the scenes that Manipur is kind of dealing with at the moment. So basically, what's going on in Manipur is you have thousands. But to understand what Manipur is, we have to actually look at the state itself. Manipur is actually not majority Hindu, but it's 41% Hindu, and it is 53% Meitei. Meitei is the majority ethnic group of Manipur. Meitei is a synonym for Manipuri. So the majority of Manipur is ethnic Manipuris. But you'll notice they comprise about 50% of it. The vast majority, or the other half of the state, believe it or not, are actually these other ethnic groups. Tado, which is a Kuki, that's Kuki. They're a Kuki tribe. Tangkul, which is a Naga tribe. You basically have Kuki Chin Naga tribes, inhabiting Manipur, which make up about half of the state. Basically, what happened was there's a protest that happened yesterday. At the time of this recording, this happened yesterday. The Meitei community are they're largely in the Impal Valley. Impal is the capital of Manipur. So basically, the Manipur High Court petitioned the government of Manipur to give scheduled tribe status to the ethnic Meiteis, which comprise the majority of the state. Now, here's the thing. Meiteis are not, they are native to they're native to Manipur, but they are not necessarily, they're not really tribal in that sense. They are, the majority of Meiteis are Hindus. They're caste Hindus. So they don't really fall into that tribe. They don't really fall into tribal ethnic group in the first place. But the problem with giving scheduled tribe status to the Meiteis is it gives the Meiteis the legal right to basically encroach on the lands of the Kukis, the Tados, the Tangkuls, the Rongmeis, the Hmars, and the various indigenous ethnic groups of Manipur, and bordering on Nagaland and Mizoram. So Manipur tribal groups protest against Meitei's demands for ST status, forceful eviction, reserved forest, and protected forest issues. It is one of the largest protests against Biren Singh. Biren Singh is the current chief minister of Manipur. Tribal groups say it will allow the dominant group to take over their land resources, which is true. Experts fear the move will only increase the rancor between the communities. Just to give us an idea of what's actually, just to work with, to give you some visuals to work with here. Basically, what you're seeing right now are the counter protesters from the Meitei ethnic group that attacked the various tribal houses, that burned down houses that were part of the various ethnic groups of Manipur that are not Meitei, the non-Meitei ethnic groups. So that's what you're seeing right now. Manipur is on fire right now because of the sort of desire for ST status. What is my general take on this? I am not Meitei. Obviously, I'm not. I don't come from Manipur at all. I think the Meiteis asking for scheduled tribe status, knowing that it will absolutely endanger the lands, or endanger the rights to the lands that the Kukis and the Nagas have in the state. I think it's super dangerous. Yeah, so you have cops in Manipur that are joining in on the attacks. You have cops joining in on the attacks as well. I don't know how credible this is. I don't know how old this video is, so take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm just seeing what is on the timeline right now. Although I will say the absolute brain rot has decided to come out, has decided to pop its head. If Meitei is not granted ST status, illegal immigrants from Myanmar should be delisted from tribal status. Kuki Chin are refugees in Manipur since 18th century. This is obviously not true. The Kukis, the various Kuki tribes and the Chin tribes and the Naga tribes of that area are obviously native. The whole concept of nation state is a bit ridiculous. Those are the native lands of the Kukis, the Chins, and the Nagas. The nativist brain rot of, well, I mean, these guys are just refugees. We're letting them stay here. Obviously, that's nonsense. I mean, it's the same sort of anti-Muslim argument that you hear for Assam. It's the same sort of anti-immigration argument you hear all the time. I mean, you have a lot of people coming out and defending. And again, this is not to malign all Meitei people, but this is basically meant to just highlight the fact that, hey, these are the sort of dynamics that are happening in Manipur. The oppressor group overall comes from the Meitei ethnic group in Manipur. So I mean, these Kuki tribes, these Naga tribes, they're native to what is now the borders were drawn much later on. So that's basically what's going on here. Again, this is just hearsay, so take everything that I say with a grain of salt. A Meitei guy was also heard yelling in his mother tongue, which roughly translated as, "We've burnt down their houses and vehicles. Did you enjoy it?" After which they all shouted, "This is great." So right now, there are about 17 people reported dead in Manipur. Yep, about 17 are reported dead in Manipur right now. So a lot of people are coming out and saying that the Kukis are instigating this stuff. Obviously, this is not true. The Kuki, I mean, first of all, which Kuki tribes are they referring to? Like, which Kuki tribes are they? Like, Kuki is not one tribe. You have different Kuki tribes to begin with. Yeah, you have basically pogroms. Yeah, you have pogroms that are being committed against. Here we go. Hold on. You have some more footage. This is them destroying the homes of of the native tribes of Manipur.
Lai Việt Cảng Vai. Cảng Vai here, Cảng Vai. Tôi in công phá đỉnh, cái lệ bay đỉnh.
Yeah, so Meitei support BJP downplays Manipur's regional complexities and the existence of Meitei chauvinism that exists independent of whoever sits at center. Animosity towards tribals is rooted in caste superiority, purity practiced by Meiteis who were largely Sanskritized since the 1700s. So I mentioned earlier that the Meiteis, the majority of Manipur, are majority Hindus, which because they're majority Hindus, they're majority caste Hindus. And they practice untouchability. And largely the victims of untouchability are, again, these these tribal ethnic groups, such as the Kukis, the Nagas, Tados. I mean, saying this is the BJP, right? Saying this is purely the BJP's fault is, I think, missing the dynamics of what is actually going on in Manipur. You got... Yep, you got people from the Meitei tribe literally shooting at Kukis. It looks like, based on what I can hear, I don't speak Meitei, obviously, but... Yeah, look at the... Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, so the Meiteis, like that other post has said, they've largely been Sanskritized. They've basically they've assimilated into the larger Hindu fold in that sense, which is why they practice untouchability with the Adivasis of Manipur. Understanding the communal problem on Manipur on fire. Why are people protesting on the streets today? The communal demand for ST status by the dominant Meitei community, an unlawful recommendation by the Manipur High Court. The declaration of tribal lands is reserved and protected forest without the informed consent of the hill tribals. The abuse of the government machinery by elected leaders to coerce the masses to fulfill communal purposes. Why do you oppose Meitei demand for ST status? If the Meitei dominant community is granted an ST recognition, the constitutional provision of the Article 371C that safeguards the interests of the present scheduled tribes can be rendered null and void. If the category scheduled tribe is meant to safeguard the hill tribals from the dominant community will be rendered useless. All the constitutional provisions which are meant to safeguard the tribals from the dominant Meitei community will be rendered useless. This includes the Hill Areas Committee Order 1972, the Manipur Land Reform and Land Revenue Act 1960, the Manipur Hill Areas Act Village Authorities Act, Manipur Hill Areas Village Authorities Act 1956, the Manipur Hill Area District Councils Act 1971. The state claims that tribals are encroaching on reserved and protected forests. What is your response? The hill tribes have always inhabited the hills, even before the formation of Manipur as a state. We are indigenous to the hills, which were only put together as part of Manipur by the British. There are ongoing lawsuits by tribal chiefs and human rights organizations against the declaration of reserved forests. The state is bulldozing over due constitutional procedure. The Hill Area Committee has not been consulted regarding these declarations. This is a breach of the Hill Tribal's constitutional safeguard. The state claims that hills are the hotbed of drug cartels. Is this true? There are many insurgent groups in Manipur. How many of them rely on such drug trade? Who, however, really profits from this? A few rich and powerful people, some in the hills, but most of them in the valley with connections to the politicians. They can catch drug peddlers in the hills anytime when it is convenient for them. You should ask why the state is not arresting the kingpins. Why do you say that the Manipur government is communal? The construction of the opening of the Chandrakirti statue in Behyang, where a renowned tribal chief was deceived by two Meitei generals. The imposition of Section 144 CRPC whenever the tribals mobilize to demand their rights. This law is only supposed to be used when there's a threat of violence. The previous SP of Churachandpur was transferred immediately after the people demanded their rights on March 10th. Because he allowed them to march peacefully. When a tribal person posts against the state, he is arrested, but this never happens when Valley Meitei people make inciting and communal comments against the ethnic minority tribals. The government servants, district employees, and job card holders are always forced into joining this or that program that has no relation to their job designation. This happened when Chandrakirti was opened during the Sangai festival, and then again when the open gym was supposed to be inaugurated. These job holders are often given show cause notices, get transferred, or some other punishment for not complying. So this is the thread that I really wanted to talk about. I don't think there really is enough press coverage. I don't think there's a lot of understanding of what's actually going to go on. I think the mainstream media is absolutely going to bungle this story. And so I wanted to do sort of the right thing here, and I wanted to actually talk about what is going on in Manipur and sort of give everyone a quick breakdown as to what is going on. So basically, you have an ethnic majority, the Meiteis, that are demanding scheduled tribe status in the northeastern part of India in the state of Manipur, which would allow them to basically encroach on the hill tribal lands of the minorities of Manipur. And this is really bad. This means that you have indigenous groups that are going to be, whose land is going to be encroached on by effectively caste Hindus, by the way, by Sanskritized caste Hindus in Manipur. That's about it for me. All right. Thanks.